Hello there. You've caught me warming myself by the fire. What's up, everybody? My name is Zach, and welcome to our Wednesday series. We are starting a new series this week called Origin Story, and with that, we're going to be talking about some superheroes and things like that. And one of my favorite Marvel movies is Captain Marvel. And I really like it because she is probably one of the most powerful superheroes there is. She can fly. She's crazy strong. She can breathe in outer space. I mean, who can do that? Who breathes in outer space? And she can shoot things from her hands. I mean, she's basically indestructible, except for that one scene in like Endgame where Thanos, it almost like he just kind of swatted her away and she flew across the thing. I don't know what happened with that, because right before then she flew through an entire spaceship and destroyed it. But somebody punching in their face. Anyway, it didn't seem to make sense. But I really like it. She's one of the most powerful superheroes, I think, and she's really cool. But she does have some weaknesses, right? And so one of the things is literally, if you watch the movie, she had no idea who she was for like half the movie. I mean, she had never been to Earth. She didn't know Earth existed. She didn't know that she was human. I mean, she didn't even know what a blockbuster was at all. You know, now that I think about it, maybe some of you guys also don't know what a blockbuster is. It's a thing in like 90s, early 2000s. You went and you rented movies. It was pretty great. I used to go there all the time. It was a lot more expensive than like Redbox, but it was still cool. Captain Marvel didn't really know who she was until like the end of the movie, when she found out who she was and she found out what she's capable of. That's when she discovered who she was. I think there's a little bit of a hero inside of each one of us, but in order to reach that full potential, we need to know who we are. And so what I want you to do is just take a few minutes and think about who you are. I'm going to put up a little overlay on the video. It's not going to be long, just a couple seconds, but if you need more time, just pause the video, just ask yourself that question and think about that question. Who are you? Now, I've asked that question to a lot of high schoolers and middle schoolers throughout my time doing ministry, and I've gotten a few different answers, but they all tend to kind of clump into these kind of different categories. So I've gotten answers like, I'm a good son or I'm a good daughter. You know, I try to obey my parents. I try to do right by my parents. I'm a good student. I try to get good grades. I'm a good athlete. Like I give my all to my team and everything I do is left on the field. Or I simply just try to be a good person, you know, whatever that looks like. Like you volunteer a lot. You may volunteer a lot at the church or at another organization outside of the church, but you try to just be a good person. But the reality is those things are all just things about you. That is not who you are. And I think in order to find out who we are, we need to dive into the Bible. So we're going to take a look at Genesis chapter 1, verses 26 through 27. And it says this: Then God said, "Let us make mankind in our image, in our likeness, so that they may rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky, over the livestock and all the wild animals, and over all the creatures that move along the ground." So God created mankind in his own image. In the image of God, he created them. Male and female, he created them. You are created in the image of God. That cannot be taken away from you. If you look at our examples from earlier, one of them is I try to be a good athlete. And so take an example for a football player. Like that is that person's career choice. They are going to be a professional football player. They live for it. They put their full identity into that. That can be shattered so fast. All it takes is a 300-pound lineman to come in and take a shot at your knees and you are just done. Your career is over. And a lot of people think, oh, well, that'll never happen to me, but it happens all the time, right? There are professional football players out there that get hurt every season in their career-ending injuries and they can't come back from it. But the fact that you are a child of God can never be taken away from you. And what's crazy is whether or not you believe that you're a child of God, you still are a child of God. You don't have to believe it for it to be true. I mean, if 2 plus 2 equals 4, you can believe that the answer is 5. You could probably even find a bunch of other people that will tell you that 2 plus 2 equals 5. But the reality is 2 plus 2 equals 4, right? You can believe and want and feel as strongly about it equaling 5 as you want, but it'll always equal 4. And it's the same thing about being created in the image of God. You are a child of God. You are created in that image, and it cannot be stripped away from you. Believe in it or not, it is who you are. You are a child of God. And I think that what it looks like for us to be a hero, and the fact that God has created these passions inside of us when we were knit together in our mother's womb, when we become a hero, I think that heroes embrace who God made them to be. So embrace those weird little quirks about yourself. Embrace the things that other people might find embarrassing. I know I love to play some video games. I'm not even good at them. I just enjoy playing them and hanging out with people. And right now we're quarantined and in lockdown. And that is one of the ways that we are able to connect with people is digitally through things like that. And we can get on there and we can have a good time together. We can have an experience together. We can talk to each other. All sorts of stuff like that. We just get on and we have a good time. Embrace the weird stuff about you. Embrace the quirks. I'm a little bit more of a goofy person, but that helps me relate to different kinds of people. I embrace the tough stuff in my life as well. That helps me relate to other people, So embrace who God created you to be. Embrace the weird stuff about you. Embrace the quirks about you. Embrace the stuff that you're good at. So many times we like to focus on the negative things about ourselves, but there are all these positives there that God has put into your life. And so I want to leave you with this question before we hit our discussions later today. Middle school is at 4 and high school is at 7. But the questions are these. What are your powers? What is your mission? And what do you think God is putting on your heart to do? So what are you good at? What are some of the things that you think that God has given you? What do you want to do with those things? What is something that God has put on your heart to help further the kingdom of God? And so be thinking about those questions, be chewing on those questions, and we'll see you guys a little bit later today. Hope you have a great day.